patch 3.3. I'm not gonna spend too much time on every change because then video will be way too long. I'm just gonna share my opinion on these upcoming changes. I'm actually pretty excited because I mean this is one of the biggest patches that we've seen in a while, and the meta really needs some shaken up. Right now, it's very stale in my opinion. Okay, ARAM progression track. I'm gonna skip this because I don't play ARAM. ARAM players, you can pause here and read it. Controls. Unbutton down. So it will activate a few frames quicker. So hopefully this means that you can do your combos quicker like you do in PC. Like PC Rivens can do some insane combos that mobile Rivens just can't do. I hope these changes will be helpful. I mean, I guess I'll just test them when they come out. Elemental Rift. I'm really excited for this because I think the current meta of just whoever gets Elder wins is kind of like it seems kind of unfair because a team could be behind and then they steal Elder and then they just win the game. This new system is gonna be where there's only 3 dragons: Inferno, Mountain, Ocean. And then let's scroll down to the dragon changes. And I believe you can stack dragons into souls like PC, but I'm not super sure about this. Okay. And the Elder Dragon, even though it's a lot stronger and it even executes at 15% health, it only lasts 2 minutes. So that's a great change. So now I guess there's a reason to contest both. You could trade Baron for Elder. I guess it sounds like a fair trade now. Before that wasn't really good because Elder lasts forever. Dragon spawning. Elemental dragons. First dragon spawn 5 minutes. Okay, so these are just how the dragons are gonna roll out. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. Um, I'm really excited to play Elemental Rift though. It feels like we're getting closer and closer to League PC and everything that it offers, and I think that's great. Ranked updates. Dude, that FUR skin looks sick. Definitely gonna be using it once it comes out. Alright, so this I actually don't know about. So ranked, instead of being like LP, it will be like marks. I don't know how I feel about this. Does this make ranking easier or harder? Cause let me read. Cause there's still ranked fortitude and shields, so I don't know if this makes ranked better or worse. I guess now you don't have to rely on the strange VP system where it sometimes gives you a lot of points and sometimes gives you no points. I mean, I guess it's a lot fairer. I just don't know how the fortitude system will work. I guess we'll see. Pretty excited to see this. Legendary queue. Alright, this seems like something that you would grind after you play ranked. A few weeks, yep. I guess I mean this seems like something for the folks that have more time and would like to play more than just ranked. And Warrior, Commander, Guardian, Vanquisher, Immortal Legend. Kinda edgy, but whatever. You do get exclusive rewards. Alright, guess I'll be grinding it for the exclusive rewards. Sounds pretty sick. Wild Pass. Dude, this Wild Pass skin is such a level up from the previous Wild Pass skins. The Hextech skins were kind of meh. I don't think anyone were that excited for it. But this freaking Stargazer Karma. Oh my, that's like a top tier skin. I would definitely consider buying it if it weren't like Karma skin. I don't really play Karma. But I mean, great change. Star Guardian event. Oh, I have so many good. Oh, there's so many good Star Guardian skins that I would love to get. I used to play Zaya, and I would love to try that new Zaya skin. But now that I play her less, I don't know if I'll get it. And that Star Guardian Oriana skin that I saw, I'm definitely getting that one. Champion changes. All right, these are what we really care about. Ari. So they're adding the Ari rework into mobile. I think that's amazing because Ari right now has kind of like a boring playstyle. I would say it's very predictable what she does, and I barely play her because of that reason. And I'll definitely be playing her a lot more after the rework. Maybe even like be a sec. I do enjoy playing her a lot. That's really cool. You guys can read the changes here, but since I've already seen the PC version, I'm not gonna look at it for too long. So they buffed her alt, nerfed her charm, and changed her passive. Cool. Annie, Annie is strong for a lot of players. For what players? I don't think Annie is that oppressive in either high or low elo. Maybe in lower elos. I don't know. Okay, so they're nerfing her base stats and making her Q more forgiving. I mean, that just seems a good nerf to me because I think good Annie players can land their Qs anyway. And you're taking a lot of armor. This armor change is really going to be felt because AD champions are probably going to hurt it a lot more. I don't know how I feel about this change, but frankly, I don't really care. I don't play Annie. So, moving on to the next. Diana. Oh, please nerf Diana. I feel like she's way too oppressive and very easy and boring to play. So they're only nerfing her dash damage by 10 across all ranks. I mean, I feel like this is something that is barely felt. I mean, Dianas do stack two dashes onto you if they're good. So I don't know. I feel like this is not enough nerfs to Diana, but I mean, it's better than not changing her at all, I suppose. Okay, Mundo has been underperforming. I just think nobody likes to play the new Mundo. The only fun thing about old Mundo was running it down and like being unstoppable. And new Mundo just seems like a worse version of a lot of things, and he's so boring to play. So they're changing his alt so that it instead of a heal, it increases his base health. So Grievous doesn't apply to it. I mean, that's a cool change, but I doubt this would change anything about Mundo. He's just boring and he's not that useful in my opinion. Galio. So Galio is getting buffed? What? I thought Galio was already pretty prevalent. He's getting more health per level and ooh, this movement speed change for his taunt is huge. Wow. Up by a whole 10%. Wow, that is huge for Galio players actually, especially for like coordinated play. I'm not gonna be surprised if there's just gonna be like a Galio with glorious enchant, just like full speed, running at a enemy team. That would be pretty cool to see. I personally don't like it because Galio is already very strong and a kind of a headache matchup for any of my champions. So hopefully this doesn't get out of hand. Jax. Jax is currently overperforming the jungle. Still? Didn't they just nerf her a few patches ago? Like a huge nerf? Wait, now they're buffing him in the top lane. So he has more base AD. His passive does more attack speed. I think that's what it is. 5 stacks? Is that less or more than the previous version? And then his leap and bonk do some more damage. Oh wow. So they're really buffing top Jax, especially this Counter Strike cooldown nerf too. Because to beat Jax, you really have to play around the cooldown of his basic attack dodging ability. So this is gonna be huge for Jax. Jesus Christ. Top lane Jax would probably be as oppressive as the PC counterpart. I mean, that's gonna be cool to see, I suppose. I'm not gonna I don't enjoy getting run down by jungle jacks because it feels like often there's no counterplay to him. But hopefully top lane jacks will be a little bit better. I don't know. We'll see. I might even pick him up. He's not that boring to play. Jin. I don't. I think Jin's pretty balanced at the moment. They're buffing his dancing grenade to 44. Funny number for Jin. And then they're making his root longer. So these are like small changes, but I think they will make him feel a lot better to play. I don't think this will drastically impact Jin, but good changes. Karma. So Karma is getting a mana cost nerf and a shield nerf. So I think what this means is that support Karma is gonna still be the same because you really play her for the speed boost and the crowd control that she gives. So I mean the Q mana cost will hurt a little bit, but I don't think support Karma will be affected by this at all. But mid lane Karma, now that her Q does less, now that her Q costs more, and her shields for less, it's a lot harder for her to trade and stay in lane. So I think this is a big nerf in mid lane Karma, which is cool because that champion's obnoxious. So this is cool. Leona, dude, it feels like they're buffing Leona for like the ninth time. I don't know, man. People just don't like to play Leona at the highest level. She's a fun champion, kind of cancerous at times. They're buffing her range again. I feel like they've buffed her range so many times that it was 6.5 at some point. I'm pretty sure. Let's hope this helps her. I doubt she will be super meta, but let's see what this does for her. Lux. So Lux is getting a shield buff. I think this is really cool because Lux has been struggling a lot in both mid and support. She's doing alright on APC, but people don't really play APC Lux in ranked. There used to be a meta where Lux was very strong because of her root and shield back in like season 2 or 3, but that meta is long gone. So I think this buff is well justified. I like this buff a lot. Nautilus. Nautilus getting a buff so that it's easier to hit his hook. And his monster damage. Do people really play Nautilus jungle? I haven't seen any. Nautilus is one of those weird champions that I just see in every lane. I've seen mid lane Nautilus, support Nautilus, top lane Nautilus, which is really annoying to play against, by the way. And now we have jungle Nautilus. Quite a flexible pick. I don't really think he needs a buff. I think he's already quite strong. But, alright. Nasus is getting a nerf. Really. I feel like Nasus is one of those champions where, like, at a high enough level, it's just very easy to outplay him because of his whole, like, AFK farm until you get powerful enough mechanic. I just don't think Nasus is that powerful. But, I mean, I don't really like laning into it because Nasus players don't fight you at all, and I really like fighting. So, it's pretty big nerf, too, for his early game because you can stack a lot slower now. Wow, and he does a lot less damage because majority of his damage comes from his bonk. So that's a pretty big nerf. I'm not sure if he deserves a nerf, but I'm not gonna say anything against it. I like it. Pyke. Oh wow, these Pyke changes. They're buffing his AD by a lot. And buffing his damage by quite a bit. I mean, I feel like Pyke isn't really weak right now. Maybe people just need to figure out how to play him. He's already pretty oppressive. I've given him a try. Very fun champion. I definitely don't think he needs a buff, but I mean, yeah, I don't think he needs a buff. But I guess I'll just have to play him more. If you can't beat him, join them. You know what they say. Riven. Okay, so I feel like they're gonna. Okay, so they nerfed Riven's shield. and buffs her lane regen and health. I'm not sure if this is a nerf or a buff. I mean, when Riven uses her shield, let me think about how much you're actually using that shield to. Okay, there's one thing with Riven where you can use your shield to auto someone in tower. Wait, you can auto someone with an ability in tower and then use your shield to get out and tank the tower shot. So that will probably be nerfed, but otherwise, I think this change isn't too terrible for Riven. Okay, Sett. Okay, Sett's getting buffed. I think he's in an okay spot right now. I don't think he's too weak. But I do play him myself, so I don't mind it. I really like the fact that they're buffing his W though, because I feel like that's one part of his kit that takes a lot of skill to use. Every other part is kind of just brain dead. So this is pretty cool to see. Gonna see a lot more nuclear Ws. And then his face breaker is getting a cooldown reduction, which is cool, I guess. Shyvana is getting. Ooh, I don't know anything about this Shyvana rework. So wait, so instead of her passive, they're kind of making her like Kha'Zix, where you can choose to evolve your abilities. Um, but you can't. Oh, you can't choose from first to last. I don't know if this is good, a buff or nerf to her. I guess it's probably a. Wait, but what happens when you evolve all three abilities? Wait, all four abilities. Does the other stack just not matter, or does it keep stacking? I don't know. This change is something that I'm gonna have to see for myself when it drops. Singed has been a powerful pick. He's a pretty niche pick. I'm surprised they're nerfing him. Nerfing his base health by 4. That's gonna be pretty huge. Well, not huge. But Singed players are definitely gonna feel it. His early laning is already not that strong, so it's probably a lot easier to kill, like solo kill him. Insanity potion. Okay, so as big as 7 seconds is, I don't actually think this ultimate nerf is huge because, I mean, in Wild Rift, really, most team fights should be over in 18 seconds. If you need that extra 7 seconds to be the difference maker, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I feel like Singe is still okay after these nerfs. They're buffing Teemo? Very strange. These are some pretty big buffs. Okay, getting a CD nerf on that and a mana cost increase. Okay, so his role is going to be a lot more expensive to use. But that range buff is going to be pretty big. Also, his ultimate. Wow, that's a huge buff. So it's less effective against teams, but it's like a lingering effect that you can't like get out of. That will be very annoying to deal with. Yeah, I might start banning Teemo a little bit if I start seeing him too much in ranked. Very annoying champion. But I mean, it's not super hard to beat a Teemo. I doubt these changes will suddenly make him very good. So I think we're still fine. Okay. They are nerfing ADTF? That is strange. I still think that the AP build is better for mid. I feel like the AD build is very fun because you can play ADCTF and sometimes play like full ADTF for mid, and it's kind of interesting. I don't like the fact that they're kind of killing some of the variations because I don't think there's anything wrong with ADTF. Yeah, not a big fan of this change. Would love to see more ADTF. Ooh, but this change is like the opposite of it. So they're buffing onto Varus. I don't know. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a Varus player called Breast of the West, and he loves to build on hit even before this buff. And he's like builds differently from every other Varus, but he still gets very high rank. So I'm sure he's happy to see it, and I think this is pretty cool because the lethality of Varus variation is just very boring to play against because they just do nothing, don't interact with you, and land a few abilities, and you die. Very boring playstyle. So I hope we see more on hit Varus. Veigar desperately needs a nerf. He is getting way too strong with these buffs, and let's see how they nerf him. They nerfed his health and armor. I mean, all right. I guess it's a lot easier to kill him, especially with assassins. I think he's still gonna be pretty strong though, just because the amount of damage that he does, and how easy it is to like stack his abilities and just carry with him. But good to see a Veigar nerf. I play him, but I'm not proud of it. The very, very broken champion. Wukong. I don't think Wukong needs a buff necessarily, but let me read. Okay, so he can just go over walls. I don't mind this. I think it just makes Wukong players more creative with some interesting flank routes. I think this is a very fair buff. More of like a quality of life change. Xin Zhao. He's getting 1 second cooldown. Okay, we don't care about this change. It doesn't impact him that much. Ultimate cooldown adjustments. So they're nerfing every champ's ultimate cooldown? Wait, they're reducing. Okay. Wow. So for some champions, this is probably gonna be huge. Like for Annie, like it's probably gonna be huge. When like people who rely, actually it's not gonna be huge for Annie, because you really only use her ult once a fight. But I think on some champions it will be very useful. Champs like, I don't know, with very strong ultimates, like maybe that Camille is gonna be really like this change. And then, but some champions don't, like, it doesn't do anything for them, like freaking Akshan, because his ult is pretty useless. Aso does get a nice buff on his ult CD. Cool to see. Graves ult is a bit, okay. Okay. Irelia ult. Janna ult is pretty huge. That is a very powerful ability. Jax ult. Kai'Sa ult. Wow, that Kayle ult CD is a big. Okay, I'm not gonna read through all of these, but this is probably gonna be very interesting to see. Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens with this. I can't predict for now. They're also making so that every ultimate that's combat relevant gets a shorter duration. I mean, I guess it's fair. You just have to use your ultimates more accurately. But that's a pretty sizable nerf to like Riven's ultimate, for an example. Though I'm not sure when you use a full 15 seconds. So I don't know. This change is fair. Earth changes. Sorry, I don't play Earth. Gonna skip that. Gameplay changes. Ooh, these new enchants are gonna be interesting. So this is an enchant that dashes to and taunts. Sounds like a support enchant. Wow. So, seems very strong actually. I can see Nautilus or like Thresh taking this, or Leona. Repulsor, probably good for like Aso actually, because he hates people being too close to him. Probably good for ADCs too. Cool enchant. I can't tell if it's gonna be strong or not, because there are so many other options that are good. It's very cheap though. Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna be very good or not. I think it will be useful. Yeah, we'll see. Veil. So it gives. Okay, this is another support enchant. They're giving a lot of support enchants. I guess it's because they're. I saw somewhere that they're removing shadows. But I guess this is very fair. I think. Yeah, the enchant system is really cool. I hope they explore more with it. Boost of Swiftness is getting. Swifties are getting changed. I actually kind of like them. Nobody really builds them, but I really like them. So instead of being a slow counter, it's now. Oh, this is very good for AD champions, especially for ADCs like Jinx or something. Oh yeah, this will be incredible for Jinx and like Jin. Wow, very cool. Looks like I'm gonna play a lot more ADC. I mean, a lot of these changes are geared towards ADCs. Fimbulwinter, I don't know anything about this item. Gonna skip through it. I mean, cool that it's getting a nerf. I don't build it, so whatever. Gargoyle. Mm, so it's getting completely reworked so that it's a just a shield. Okay, all tanks are gonna build this. Like Darius. Darius is not a tank, but like Darius, Malphite, and Garen. Maybe even Camille. Seems very useful. Ever since the stasis nerf to Camille, she might go Gargoyle now. Wow, that's actually really, really useful. Soul might even build this because he's very close to enemies when he fight. All right, cool. I mean, I enjoy these changes. Portabelt is getting nerfed on the cost because so many people build it. I agree. Portabelt is way too prevalent right now because it's so flexible. Probably people are still gonna build it though. Hallbreaker abused by range champions. Oh yeah, Hallbreaker Lucian. And I don't know if this nerfs Hallbreaker Jace actually. I don't know if this nerfs Hallbreaker Jace. If this nerfs Hallbreaker Jace, that would be pretty bad. Otherwise, I don't really care. Quicksilver. Yeah, Quicksilver right now is pretty weak. Nobody builds it because you can just build stasis. Okay, this is really useful. Okay, this is really good. I think ADCs or even mid would build this. Seems very, very good. Okay, I like these enchant changes a lot. They're very, very cool. Shadows removed. Shadows were actually kind of like people actually use shadows a lot in the higher elos. So, but there's so many other options now, so I'm sure it's a fine change. Stasis is getting nerfed. Definitely agree. Everybody builds it. I think it should cost 1200 personally. Still a little bit cheap. Conquer is getting changed. Oh, please don't nerf it again. Okay, so you gain more AD and AP from it. Or just damage, flat damage. Oh, wow. You're losing the entire bonus. And it's gonna be Vamp? Okay, so I don't think I'm gonna be building Conqueror on a lot of champions now. It's probably still gonna be very useful on champs like Irelia who lifesteal, but maybe even Irelia goes lethal tempo now. I don't know, man. Oof, this is gonna hurt, especially for like Aesol. Probably gonna have to go electrocute Aesol now. Wow, I don't like these changes for the runes. Fleet footwork is getting nerfed in the jungle. Cool. This nerfs some champions who run fleet footwork in the jungle. Don't think it's a big deal. Grass is getting buffed. Wow, that's a pretty big buff. Time to build Grasp ASO, maybe. I mean, wow. Wow, that's a pretty big change, actually. A lot more damage. Grasp is already pretty strong right now, I think. I don't know why they're buffing it, but cool. Whenever I run a Grasp champion, I guess. I don't really play any champions that run Grasp, now that I think about it. So this is gonna suck a little bit. Kraken Slayer is getting buffed. I feel like it's pretty balanced. Like Lucian built it. A lot of ADCs built it. Like Kai'Sa built it. It's getting a flat buff in the late game. On attack, on hit. Wait, such as Ezreal's Mystic Shot or Fiora's Lunge? Wait, that is huge. That is huge. Ezreal will probably build Kraken now. Jesus. And there's probably some other champions that this will change. Like Vi will be better because Autumn. I don't know. I think this is pretty huge. We're gonna have to look at the interactions when it actually releases. Okay, Bruto is becoming an ADC only rune. Okay, time to go back to Gathering Soul, I guess. Man, some of these changes really hurt Soul. Unlucky, but I mean, I don't mind the Gathering build. I was actually one of the first top level ASOS to run the Gathering build. Smite is getting buffed. Okay, jungle change. We don't play jungle. Gonna skip through this. Turret plating. Hmm. So it's a lot easier to take turrets now. I mean, I think this is good because it makes lane management and like early game how you shove your wave and whatnot are not a lot more important. That's cool. All turrets are plating. Wow. Oh, but they're only in the early game. Okay, so I mean, who's gonna push to second turret in the first 6 minutes? There was a cheese play that sometimes people did where they would just all group up top with a Rift Herald and just keep. I guess this is interesting. I don't know. 5 equally distributed. Turret. Wow, turrets are worth a lot more gold. All right, this will probably make split pushers a lot stronger, and yeah, I guess this is very interesting. We're gonna have to see how this one plays out. I'm just gonna skip through these parts. Ooh, so the more champions there are, the more resist. Very fair.